Here is a brief overview of some products by somebody who is just a mom, not an expert, not a medical professional, and I am not giving anybody any medical advice. I have several autoimmune diagnoses, diseases myself, and I have kids that I've had to have tested for food allergies and deficiencies and whatnot. So I am just speaking from experience as somebody who is very passionate about nutrition and health. I am not an expert and I'm not giving any advice, and I am not trying to accuse anyone of anything. I'm just putting some stuff out there. So I'm going to start right here with the co-owners. It says Jason Camper and Paul Grabet. Um, they wanted to create a company, a brand, a product line that had never been seen before. Their commitment and passion to premium grade raw ingredients and using a higher level of nutrition to formulate Thrive was key to Lavelle's success from the beginning. I call BS on that. In my opinion, it's not true, and I will show you why. So I just picked out the three, the lifestyle, the core products they call them, the patches, shake, and vitamins, multivitamins. And then I picked out some other products, pulled up the PDFs and zoomed in. I have never done this before, so feel free to give me any tips if anybody has them, because I'm very bad with new technology. So anyways, I promised a lot of great things. Like always, they talk a lot of great things. And when you look in the ingredients for this is something you put on your skin. Force Lean is something that was patented. I was looking through the patents for it, and I just want to put this out there. Cosmoperine is basically what is carrying all the rest of the things into your skin to your bloodstream, basically. It is a derivative of black pepper, and it works in conjunction with the Force Lean, especially. They made it sound like. I was looking into the company that has these patents. It's based in India, and I'm all about herbs, and I think that it's great that they're getting some herbal medicine out there, it seems like. Just thought it was interesting. You'll notice that in our country, the US, they filed a patent for the method of preparing it as from the extract for use of promoting lean body mass and treating mood disorders. This was on February 27, 1997, and issued about a year later, over a year later. I'm horrible right now. I'm like lacking sleep. We'll get into that too. A method of promoting lean body mass in an individual is disclosed, comprising administering to the individual a lean body mass promoting effective amount of forskolin. A method of treating a mood disorder is also disclosed, comprising administering to a patient in need thereof a mood disorder, treating effective amount of forskolin. Composition suitable for promoting lean body mass and or treating a mood disorder are also disclosed. Okay, so that I found really interesting, and I really can't comment further on it besides like, wow, they knew that it affected you somehow, right? So, but then they didn't file the actual patent for this product, and then when they did, it's process and compositions for achieving mammalian energy balance. And this just happened a few years ago in our country, filed in 2015 and issued in 2018. But then okay, so the title is weird, but it's basically saying a method of achieving optimal mammalian energy balance using forskolin on a particular physiological and development stage. They're saying it's going to boost energy, maintain healthy weight. And I won't say the same things as, and Europe and Canadian, they're very like cut and dry. It's going to promote lean body mass. These were filed in 1998 on the same day by the same people, and as you can see, in Canada, they got their patent 10 years later. In Europe, they got their patent 7 years later, in 2008 and 2005, but they didn't attempt, or I'm sorry, perhaps they did. I'm not an expert on this patent system either, but y'all, treating mood disorders. This stuff needs to be looked into more. I wouldn't trust anything that's like new and proprietary going into my body when it comes to ways to treat my body unless I've tried all the tried and true methods, I'm not going to resort to something new. It's like buying a car, like the year it goes on the market, like a new body style or something. You should just wait until they work out the kinks of that new thing. Like, you should, no. Green coffee bean extract. White willow bark is the what we derived aspirin from. So it's like a painkiller, which there's nothing wrong with taking painkillers when and if you need them. But there's something off to me about having one constantly go through your bloodstream, and it's in a lot of their products. Just seems to me like it's a constant bombardment to your system of caffeine, sugars, fake sugars, which are so bad for you. And this white willow bark. Then we've got the shake. I just pulled up the first, flavor. It's too much to go through each single flavor. But once again, in my opinion, I really don't think that this is like the top tier ingredients, best quality. I'm going to explain something super fast. It is unknown how much of the population is affected by this, but a certain portion of our population cannot methylate their vitamins correctly when they are in certain synthetic forms, meaning there are ideal synthetic forms that are more bioavailable. If you want to look into it, methylation, it's a biochemical process that takes place throughout our whole body in so many different ways. But in regards to food and absorption and vitamins being processed and used correctly, some people literally can't process folic acid the same way they do folate. Another B vitamin, cyanocobalamin version of B12, you want the methylcobalamin version of B12. Now you can get this done, get a test done to see if you fall into this. If you have the MTFHR gene mutation and you have an expert help work out your results with you. So they're using cheaper forms of vitamins. They're using a lot of fillers, a lot. And a lot of these products, maltodextrin, that's powdered corn. Now, I love to get a good deal, but I don't have any. Even my cheapest supplements don't have maltodextrin in them. It's just like a giveaway, in my opinion, that it's not a good product. It's like a lot of protein to be putting into a body. Sometimes people, this is just the other ingredients. It's just a lot of stuff going into your system. Sucralose, magnasweet, is a chemical that basically they have to add to stevia. If you've ever had stevia, you'll understand why. They've now invented a chemical that binds to the stevia and helps with that weird, too sweet, kind of tart, almost even like a feeling in your mouth after you eat it. So, in my opinion, I'd rather just have plain sugar and eat less of it, or just eat some fruit, sweeten with, or just not have it so sweet. Sucralose, stevia, it's, oh my goodness. So another thing I want to mention is when you're taking all these different herbs, you just never know what you're reacting to. You could be doing great with a lot of them, and then one thing is gonna flip your, what, and you can't take that whole supplement. And how do you know when they're just throwing so much stuff in there? I like supplements that don't have herbal blends. Number one, it doesn't really seem like you're gonna get a lot of the good herbs, but you're just still risking a reaction and not knowing what you reacted to. So really quick, I mentioned the methylated thing. I want to say that certain people can be skewed to either Th1 or Th2 part of their immune system. If you have really bad environmental allergies, you may be skewed. If you have a lot of autoimmune diseases, you may be skewed, meaning your immune system doesn't work in balance the way that it should. And when it needs to work together, basically, a lot of times it'll overwork on one side, not work enough in the other. And you need to be careful with herbs when you're like that. In my opinion, I stick to adaptogenic herbs because I am like that. I took green tea extract one time and I really did sincerely think I might die. It made me feel so bad. Right here we have folic acid. I'm sure it's not methylated B, although it could be, but it doesn't say. More white willow extract. Looks like there's some good stuff. I'm not saying that it's all bad. These probiotics, it's pretty good, and they have a lot of different strains. That's great. Grapeseed extract, CoQ10 is always good. It's good for your heart and your brain. That ginger is going to help you with any upset tummy when you're taking all of this stuff too. There's a lot of ginger, which is good, but It's also good for your immune system. And it's a lot. And you're taking caffeine with vitamins, you're kind of just like pushing them through your system even faster, and you're just not going to absorb them the same. Like, I never take vitamins with my coffee. Never. Moving on to these bars, I just clicked the cinnamon roll. You'll notice right away it says 20 grams of sequentially delivered protein. It's like their way of saying, like, this shit will stick around in your gut so long, it'll take a long time to digest, in my opinion. I know I'm saying that way too much. I just feel like I need to. Only 2 grams of sugar. Notice that, okay? Only 2 grams of sugar. But then you've got 12 grams of sugar alcohol. 12 grams. Okay? That's crazy. I'm going to talk about, at first glance, as somebody who's a label reader, like, it's not horrible, okay? It's not absolutely horrible. I still eat fast food sometimes. It's not like I think that the world should be, like, you know, you should go walking around on eggshells. But I have, like, an 80-20 goal, basically. I don't have cheat days, but I'm just, like, 80% of what I eat has to be, like, very good, clean, whole food. And then I'll let myself cheat 20% of the time. And I want to get to, like, 90-10. With this polyglycerol ester of fatty acids, like, do you think our grandparents were eating polyglycerol ester of fatty acids? And I don't understand why there's soy lecithin and then there's sunflower lecithin. Like, usually you use one or the other. I've never honestly seen both in ingredients in anything. Palm kernel oil, palm fruit oil. There can be problems with how that stuff is sourced, and that's a whole other video. I just don't believe in any way, shape, or form they are striving for the best ingredients. In my opinion, they don't care about your health, or they wouldn't be like adding this sucralose in here. It is crazy. And calcium carbonate is kind of funny and weird. And I have jars of calcium carbonate. I use it for all sorts of stuff. It's a good supplement, but I've just never seen it in a protein bar. Milk and soy, more of the top food allergens, of course. So here's the Duo burn patches that help you lose weight. And the same thing as the Forceline and that Cosmoperine that I showed you. Same thing, remember? He was doubling up on these. Chris Watts had at least 2 of these on in many pictures, and sometimes 3. I've heard from a lot of people. I had a new subscriber remind me of that. If anybody has any information on that, I'd really appreciate it, because I can't, like, you know, cite it myself. I don't know if I just missed it, if somebody said it in an interview or what, but so they've got, you know, the aspirin, constantly medicating yourself with pain medication. They've got some other things in there to help you, but that Forceline 95, okay, I'm sorry, I just now noticed that. What does that mean? So it's like probably more of it. You know what I mean? Like that other one we saw was just Forceline, right? Am I? Okay. Yeah, see, Forceline, just regular old. And then it's Forceline 95. So he's putting, like, I'm assuming it's just more of it. I don't, okay. See, that's where it comes from. It's some kind of like tubular root vegetable, which is cool. I am all about naturally derived ingredients. Doesn't mean they're doing it for the right reason, though. I mean, remember, mood disorder treatment. Treating mood disorders. And this looks like it is more of it. Forceline 95. I'm just assuming if this weight loss product is just in the other patches and this particular patch is weight loss patch, it sounds like to me that they were like, oh, we're going to put like a crap ton of that stuff in here and make it this. That is crazy. Of course, it says not suitable for individuals under 18. If you're pregnant or breastfeeding, consult a doctor before. If you're taking any medication, have any type of medical issue, like, don't we all? Which, like I said, like, you should do anyway. You should always ask your doctor. You should have a doctor. You should get tested. Here we go. An unmethylated, these are the cafe drinks. Just a lot of vitamins and caffeine together. I'm not an expert, but I don't like that. I wouldn't drink caffeine with my vitamins. More probably GMO ascorbic acid, not methylated, vitamin B12. And this is something that really irks me because it's so common. If you know what I'm talking about as far as methylated forms, there's like so many supplements that say folate, and it's not. It's like more interchangeable. They're allowed to do it with folate because from my understanding, it is basically derived from like the same thing. It's just taking it a step further. So it's like saying you can call a pumpkin or like, canned pumpkin. It both comes from the same thing, but it's not necessarily like the same form of it. So we've got less fillers in this one, but still it's like a lot. And if you want to use the best of the best, you want to use cocoa powder. You use cacao. More of the powdered corn, xanthan gum. That's just like, it's just a binder. It's gonna, corn and xanthan gum, like, ugh. So then I came across more sucralose, ugh, magna sweet. If you've ever had stevia, you'll know why they have this chemical. It's made to basically like mask, kind of cover the nasty too tart taste of stevia. Or I guess in this case, the sucralose, because I don't see stevia. Ay, 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 ay. Soy and milk, of course. So this is, I'm going to do 3 more real quick. I keep trying to film this and it's longer than I want it to be, but there's just so much to say. So we've gotten into like the methylated, the skewing to TH1, TH2, the patent for a mood enhancer. Let's see. This is like, I'm not an expert. I have to say this, I have to reiterate it, but like I like a lot of what I see. The N-acetyl L-carnitine, the gamma-aminobutyric acid, those are good supplements. I've used them before. Those are great for cognitive functioning. However, I've never in my life heard of Bacopa monnieri. And there's a lot of that in here. Tooth, club moss, aerial part. I mean, that could be great. It's just like, but you've never had this before in your life, most likely. And so when you take it, you're going to be like, oh my gosh. And it might turn you off from something you could truly benefit from, like the GABA, okay? That's that gamma-aminobutyric acid. Other ingredients, that first one is probably like the casing or whatever, the outside shell, the vitamins. Then you have to use all these other things. Like once again, the supplements I buy, and I like Swanson brand and like cheaper ones, because like we couldn't afford to take them if I didn't have a certain kind of mindful budget with them as much as I want. So I've never seen like so many additives. Like, okay, silica and titanium dioxide, all right. Magnesium stearate and something else, all right. But why magnesium stearate, microcrystalline cellulose, silica, maltodextrin, titanium dioxide? Why? Why do you need all of that? It's just a lot. Schisandra, if that's like the same thing as schisandra berries, I love that myself. That's cool, But I would never, even as much as I love some of what I see, it's overall, they know what they're doing. They know, ooh, that's cool. Ooh, I haven't seen that before. Nothing else has this or that. Maybe there's a reason, So this right here, methylsulfonamide, that's MSM. That's a good thing for pain. It is. Boswellia, that's frankincense. Curcumin, that's turmeric. More white willow bark, natural form of aspirin. Glucosamine, great for your joints. Like, there's a lot of great things in here. This is probably, if I had to pick a favorite, oh no, wait, this is that sequential gel technology stuff. So this, they'll show you a little video and it kind of grosses me out, and I'm not even that sensory when it comes to like food texture, but it's like, it looks like it's like this gel and you're swallowing the gel, and then in my opinion, it's like time released almost, but they don't really say. It's like they use a lot of like semantic-y type language, and I feel like I'm reading a contract. You know what I mean? And you're like, okay, so I get it, but I don't. I kind of see where they're coming from, but I can't really explain it well myself, so obviously I don't understand it well enough. So here is the last thing I'm going to be talking about as far as products. This is that Black Label patch. It's like, just like got a lot of everything. As you can see, it's just got some more stuff. It seems like there's a lot of caffeine in this. So, green tea extract, green coffee bean, and guarana and yerba mate. I'm sorry if I'm saying any of this wrong. That's a lot. that is a lot of forms of like stimulants. So you're going to put like all these stimulants in different forms in with something that has been patented to help people with mood disorders when they need it. Somebody needs to look into this more. Honestly, if I was a wealthy person in terms of monetary wealth, I would pay to have these things analyzed, and that is just my opinion, even out of pure curiosity. I'm not trying to go after anybody, but yeah, it is kind of like there's people out there that will feed off of people with issues, and it needs to stop. I judged Shanann. I admit it. I judged her when I first watched her videos, and I am sorry. I'm sorry for it now, because the more I looked into it, I just saw somebody I admired and somebody we should all strive to be. She wasn't perfect, but she tried. She was a good wife. She tried. She wanted to have a nice life. And a lot of people do. You can't look down on her for that. She wasn't out there making live videos of getting drunk and dancing on tabletops with her friends. She tried. She worked her butt off. And I'm mad that these MLMs take advantage of women like her with good work ethics that have more motivation at home than anybody that doesn't have a family to take care of. Okay? Please don't come at me. I'm not saying you're not an important person, but when you have mouths to feed and children that need you and children that will need constant, like educational needs and things like that, like you want to be productive. That's all she wanted. And I don't think this is right. People need to look into this. Thank you for your time.